Welcome back, everybody. It was a requirement, and we are joined by Mandatory Cloud from Vulcan. First of all, congratulations on your win. You're up to 4 wins now in the LCS. How you doing?
Good. Pretty good.
Cool.
So we saw you guys giving hugs at the end. Are you guys extra close to this team Complexity, or is it just a normal thing?
Just good friends with them. Like, they kind of initiate the hugs, so we just go along with it.
So it's all them. They started it. But you guys are friends outside. So how's your living situation? I've heard like some people stay over with you guys a lot. You guys kind of have an open door policy, maybe a little extra room.
It's really just Pluto.
Okay.
I think Nicklu's coming over to visit today. That's about it, him and Pluto.
Cool. So I want to ask you about actual Super Week here, right? Getting into this. You guys just came off of your 3-game win streak. How did you feel coming into this Wednesday?
Well, Benny was actually really sick and it's just a smaller practice time period. Yeah. We didn't feel very good about our practice, but I don't know. You have to do what you can.
Were you able to prepare at all for the week coming in?
We were able to prepare. We practiced a lot, but we weren't comfortable practicing new things, and so we didn't really change a whole lot.
Okay. So what were your sort of plans coming in, if you can remember back to the CLG and Dignitas matches?
That game, we kind of got baited by CLG into picking Kale. She's really strong, but we didn't have like the right picks to kind of capitalize on Kale. Or bot kind of got really behind, so that was pretty huge.
What about for Dignitas?
I don't.
If you can remember
that game.
That's fair.
Oh, that was like 2v1 Rise, right?
Yeah.
We just got to play that game.
Okay.
That was a pretty good strategy. They executed it really well, and we didn't counter it very well at all. So.
All right, and of course now you've had that fresh game against Complexity. Did you come in thinking you were going to win that match?
Yeah.
All right, and so I guess you didn't try anything new. It was just your standard old guard tactics, and it just worked out for you guys?
We don't really run much TF, but we did that game. It's just we've been practicing that, so we ran the TF.
Cool.
So with that TF, I've been noticing the successful TFs so far in LCS have been rushing that arm guard into the Zhonya's Hourglass. Is that just key item for you now? Some of the people who haven't rushed it have really paid for it when they get into sticky situations, and we saw it got you out of a couple.
Well, even if you're not against a physical damaging mid lane, it's just a really efficient item. It also gives you AP, so and it's cheap, so you can just buy that and you just get a bunch of free AP. And it also builds into Zhonya's, which is really core on TF. So I'd probably buy that first in like a lot of things.
Plus, you can get those YouTube clips going where you pull some baits going off.
Zhonya's?
Always nice, yeah.
Dude, that escape where like you like in the bottom lane, like 40 minutes in, you like dodge like 17.
Oh, I should have even lived.
Yeah, like
but I went back in to stun him, and then I got ignited, and so I died.
Oh yeah, but
it
like
was a sad day.
It was such like an epic play though. You still got a 2-for-1. That was pretty awesome. So anyway, sorry, yeah, that wasn't even a question. I just feel like I just wanted to tell you that you were awesome because I haven't gotten an interview yet, and I kept waiting to like get to use Mandatory Cloud puns.
His question is, will you sign his mousepad?
Will you sign my mousepad, Mandatory Cloud?
Sure.
Thank you very much. I'll bring that in next week. Anyway, I actually have a question for you about mid lane in general. Like, you've had really good success here, you know, doing a very good job yourself. What are sort of the who's who mid laners, aspiring mid laners should pick up? Like the champions they should learn?
Mainly TF, Lux, Nid, Rise, and possibly Nivy if you practice her like a lot. Nivy is worth it if you practice her a lot, but I don't bother with her because I haven't practiced her enough.
Okay.
And back to that last game, usually we hear Zuna's shouts just echoing through the hallways here, but we didn't hear too much from him. Is it because it's been such a long day? I know it's been a long day for me too, but is it that, or were you guys just kind of out of steam here?
Because he was dying a lot.
Yeah, he was dying a lot.
He doesn't really yell when he dies, so there's that.
Only when he's chasing for blood. Okay.
And just artillery shells from across the map. All right, well, you know, thank you very much, Mandatory Cloud, for your time. Guys, up next is going to be Good Game University versus Team Dignitas. Now, last time these teams met in Week 2, it was close for the first 15 minutes, but then GGU started losing control of the objectives, and things quickly fell into place for Dignitas. Now, we're going to see how that matchup's going to play out.
I think that was a large part due to Fat being their sub. He was inexperienced in the 2-versus-1 lane, and Kiwi Kid just kind of ran away with his 2-versus-1 lane, almost tripling his CS over there.
Yeah, 290.
Now they've got Jinte, though. Yep. He's looking really strong. Plus, he's a mid lane sub, which just fits so much better. We have Zion back in his normal top lane, and so they look a lot better right now, though they still haven't been able to really punch out a win.
They haven't really, but like the mechanics seem to be there, right? Like, yeah, Good Game University's on 2 losses, but they lost to CLG and TSM. Like, those are teams that you're like, oh, we have to fight them this week. Well, crud. Like, those are scary names to fight against, and so you can always be forgiven to lose to those teams there.
Yeah.
And best of one, like, you can always just have something go wrong. I mean, Dignitas are looking scary, of course. It's another one of those top teams, but I don't know. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, especially with that last one. I mean, Kiwi Kid was like, oh, Voidboy's the only one I'm scared of, and then he just demolishes. Well, he beat him in lane. We don't want to give him to run away with that, but
No.
they look so strong right now, and they're the ones on the streak. They've ended the dynasty that was Curse.
Yeah.
So congrats to Dignitas.
Now, for Good Game University, Shifter's absence has been difficult, but Dignitas still sees them as a threat. Let's take a look.
They beat us week 2, but we didn't have Shifter.
I think without Shifter, I don't think we'll have to worry about them because they look really weak without Shifter.
No, they go in once more. Beautiful job by Crumbs and Skara.
We're good enough players that we can pull it off, so I don't have any doubt in any of my teammates.
Mashme and Bloodwater are pretty good, so I'll have to keep their eyes on them.
No one's to be underestimated. Like, every team has the potential to win a game in LCS.
Good Game University are going to look to find their first win here in the LCS.
We had so much momentum coming into week 3, but now we really have to pick it back up and swing it back in the right direction.
All right, everybody, you've seen their faces. Now let's take a look at the lineups themselves. On the blue team, Good Game University. Zion Spartan in the top lane, Nintendo Dex in the jungle. Jinte, that sub in the mid lane. Don't Mash Me on AD carry, and Bloodwater on support.
On the red side, we've got Dignitas, Kiwi Kid top, Crumbs in the jungle, Scar in middle, I'm a Cutie Pie on AD, and Patoy supporting him.
And it's going to be just a fun matchup in front of us. I mean, we saw Dignitas really on fire. They are the ones with the longest unbroken winning streak. Good Game University, they looked like such the team to beat in a way in the very first week. I mean, giving Curse such a close run for their money, all their matches dangerously close, and then suddenly they just looked less scary out of nowhere.
Well, it wasn't really out of nowhere. They kind of have to
Okay.
keep on dealing with all these switches in their lineup. I keep saying it. I feel kind of bad for them. They've all these hurdles that keep popping up. They jump over one, and they're like, all right, this week Shifter's going to be here. Oh, he's not here. We just practiced a whole week of strategies with Shifter.
Yeah.
Now we have to use a sub again. They've switched out subs, so they look a little bit closer to their original lineup and a little bit stronger, but they still haven't quite put all the pieces together.
Yeah, and actually, like, I follow Nintendo on Twitter, and every match they lose, he just kind of writes something out like, Shifter, we miss you. Like, it wasn't Fat's fault that we lost that game, but, like, we could really use Shifter back here. And it's just like, it just is like, bro, we miss you. Come in from Canada, please. And so, you know, it looked better with Jinte, though. I mean, Zion Spartan is an explosive player. Before the matches even started today, Hotshot was like, dude, please don't play Fizz against us. It's just, we don't want to deal with your Fizz. It's a scary guy. Like, there's a lot of respect there for Zion. And putting him back in that comfort top lane, I think, is the right choice for GGU. Jinte's looking all right, too.
Yeah, even though he hasn't been able to use that Fizz in the LCS very effectively, everyone has played versus him in solo queue. He's one of the highest solo queue players, and they know that he will just beat them to death with the Shark. So they don't want to let him have it, and it's a good call by them. Usually people have been actually banning it out, even though he hasn't been able to capitalize on it.
And it's cool. Like, it's one of those champions where you see so rarely. You know, when you look back, like in the European circuit with Tabs is like legendary for playing Fizz, the mid laner for Millennium, and you just would see it respect banned for like 7 months straight, and then finally people like started to let him use it during the European qualifier, and you've got another player who's picked up Fizz and is like, yeah guys, I know how to play Fizz. You want to ban this? Let's go. I'm the only guy you'll ever ban Fizz against. But hey, I'm scary.
Yeah, it's one of those just player-specific bans that we do see a lot of. And Dignitas are very quick on picking up on those. I don't think that they will let one of those things through. That's definitely one of their signature moves, is banning out player-specific champions.
Yeah, these teams are usually very, very good at doing their research, right? You look back at all the games today, and you look at the bans, and you're like, those are the exact champions that won the team the game yesterday, right? Like, over and over and over again, you're seeing, oh yeah, hey look, Needley's being banned out against Vulcan, like, surprise, surprise. And you know, people are baiting out these first picks, the Xin Zhao getting stolen away from Curse St. Vicious by Dignitas in their win. The Elise, they certainly had to grab away from Voyboy. Like, these guys just do their research. And again, you heard Cutie Pie say it in his pregame. any team can beat any team. These teams are all researching each other in every single game.
Yeah, and it's a best-of-1 format,
Yeah.
so that's why it's adding on this another layer to the game where the picks and bans are that much more important because you have a good opportunity to do research on your team before the day, and then it's just one matchup. They can use a single composition against you, and then you don't have a chance to answer it.
No, exactly, and that's just so
That
fun.
day.
yeah, not that day. You've got to wait till the rematch or until you watch someone else. And that was the funny thing, right? Kiwi Kid talked about it in our interview where he's like, yeah, Voyboy brought out AP Tryndamere against one of the underdog teams, so we knew he could run it, and so we banned it. We didn't know that until they showed it. We were going to ban Elise instead, and hey, as it turns out, Champion Select worked pretty well for them. Speaking of that, we are into Champion Select ourselves. That wasn't even timed. They just happened to work that way. I'm telepathic.
The stars are aligning for you tonight, my friends.
Soraka's coming.
Singed, the first ban. Kiwi Kid has played that over and over again.
Yeah.
He has made a few missteps on it, but they always end up doing pretty well when they have that on their team.
Yeah, it's funny that it took 5 games for teams to realize that he will, yes, insta-lock Singed over and over and over. Sinjao banned away from Crumb, so he still loves that Vi. We'll see what ends up coming in for first pick. We've got a couple of old guards there. Nintendo, Elise jungle over and over again. Jinte has been grabbing Kale before. Vi, again, another popular pick. We've got 3 bans left to go, 2 on one side, 1 on the other. Dignitas running out of time. I wonder if they're going to spell something. Nope, it is going to be the Kale ban. There we go.
You're always looking for the message. You're
I
reading
am.
between the bans.
I mean, there was one where they banned TSM out of order as legitimate bans. They banned SMT, and I was just kind of a little bit sad.
I'm right there with you. I think
know.
the delay on the Singed ban may have been due to Kiwi Kid like buying 2 boots in one game, had
Yeah.
to sell those off, and sometimes when he's in the 2 versus 1 lane, he'll just overextend, and people think that they can take advantage of it. It might be a clever ploy to convince people that he's not the best Singed player in the world, though they always do end up winning. So
He's just trying to sandbag it on
tricks.
purpose.
The Draven ban for AmiCutiePie I like a lot because every time he's gotten it, he's just gone beast mode and
Yeah.
not left that lane. They always seem to finish their games by split pushing all 3 lanes at once.
Yeah.
Like every single lane just wins hard, and then that's how you end the game. Everyone goes in at the same time.
It seems like they get every single person ahead and then get enough ward coverage that no one gets 5 on 2'd. So like any configuration you try to take to defend, you'll lose because we're evenly matched out everywhere here. And Good Game University, they're taking a long time considering their first pick, and that is going to be Vi.
Yeah, everyone's pretty much a fan of Vi right now. She's extremely strong. Her kit just works so well together. Not to mention, it's the most satisfying thing for me. If I was answering that tweet earlier, I would have said Vi punches or the assault and battery, just literally dunking people. It's so fun.
Punching him in the face. I'm actually personally a fan of Karma.
Yeah, you are. Some new things coming up for you soon. Then
Fan of Karma.
we got the
She has
Nocturne
fans.
hovering over. I got it.
I'm sorry.
You
Okay,
do so
yeah.
many puns. I can't acknowledge
On
every
we go.
single one.
Why not?
I'll give you a gold star after we're done.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
They
I
actually
love
switched it
gold
over to
stars.
Sona. So
All
we
right.
haven't seen Sona too often, but she's still an amazing combination with that Ezreal. The
Yeah.
poke, it's still very strong. They haven't nerfed it that much. She's a little more squishy now, but she still puts out a lot of offensive power.
It is a strong, long-range lane. The Ezreal Sona, just an old guard here. Graves Lulu being grabbed up. Mashme had an excellent game on Graves against CLG back in, I think it was week 1 or 2, where he narrowly lost that game. But he went like 9-1 and 7 or something ludicrous in that one. Had an excellent play there. Skara immediately insta-locking Diana again. And now he's going to go for a Nocturne. We saw it hovered over before, but he's going to lock that in.
Crumbs was a big fan of Nocturne back in the first little iteration where he was jungling before he moved to top lane, and he played it just so much. He loves the global presence. As soon as he's hit 6, he pretty much uses that on cooldown. He's also one of the few players that I really appreciate because he uses the CC aspect of that ultimate. You don't have to immediately use Nocturne's ultimate to dash to someone. Using the darkness and vision denial of that ultimate during a team fight, it's such a good CC. People really underestimate vision denial.
Oh, absolutely. And of course, there's the final grab being picked up there for Good Game University, and it's Akali and Orianna. So there was a heck of a lot of all-in in this team, and they're going to hope that Mashme stays alive and with Graves in the back line.
Yeah, they have a lot of delivery systems for this ball. And I have to say, the bottom lane for GGU is going to be a shove fest. That is pretty much the biggest shove comp that you
Shoviest.
can have. They've got the Buckshot and Lulu with the Glitter Lance can hit the whole wave. They're going to be able to take down a turret really quickly if they go into a 2v1 situation, no matter who they're against.
Well, we'll see what that ends up being. The opponent, their last pick, is going to go to Kiwi Kid's top laner here, unless it's top lane Diana, which I doubt pretty heavily. He's got 12 seconds. They're still considering it. Patoy, he's going to be the guy to click the champion.
A few people have done top Nocturne. A few more people have done top Gragas. We could have Scar on his Gragas. We could have Diana top. We all know Scar is a huge fan of those barrels. He is a heavy drinker, and he loves getting people out of place. The switches are still coming out. Nobody knows where they'll land. It's a game of musical champions.
This is interesting, though, because they're both Scara signature champions.
Yep.
Like, either one would completely work.
They'll probably do like a last-second switch here, too, just to mess with us.
It's pretty likely, actually. Of course, they know Zion Spartan's going to be top lane on Akali. Jungle Akali, not so much a thing, so I'm not going to see Vi top. But what do these teams look like in either configuration? What is this sort of setup on both sides?
I love the Vi Akali combo because Akali is one of the premier diving assassins, and Vi will be able to follow that up no matter what. She can just knock everyone else out of the way, get to the target that Zion wants, and he will be able to burst that down. He's got 3 charges on his ultimate, plus the Vi burst from those denting blows if he can get off 3 procs. It's just so much burst damage on a very concentrated area. They'll be able to pick out targets. Even the slippery Ezreal could go down.
Well, that's going to be pretty impressive. Meanwhile, what is Dignitas looking forward to? They've got just a lot of mages, it seems.
Did they do that last-second switch? Okay, they did. So it's Scara on the Gragas, and it is going to be the Diana. I'm getting pretty good at calling these trolls now. There we go. So it is going to be Kiwi Kid taking that Diana top.
Alrighty, it's going to be an interesting matchup here. Again, Ez Sona versus Graves Lulu. We'll see if it ends up being the shove fest. Dignitas on a bit of a streak right now. Still undefeated since basically the end of week 1. They took down 2 opponents so far, Vulcan and Curse. They look to extend that lead here against Good Game University, who are looking for win number 2, I believe, in LCS.
I really like that you deem this the shove fest match, because that's really what it's going to be. Dignitas have 2 solo laners who are really good at shoving. Like we pointed out before, I think Jat was talking about the attack speed split builds with Diana. If you get that Nashor's Tooth, not only does it add AP, but her passive is amazing at wave clearing. You can get to that 3rd hit really quickly if you build that Nashor's Tooth, and he can shove down with that. Meanwhile, Gragas, those AoE damage from the barrels, he can easily clear as well. But GGU has the answer of their own in the bottom lane. We went over the Lulu Graves combo. That just annihilates creeps.
I actually want to point out something, a non sequitur. Kiwi Kid opened with 3 wards. So he is completely going for a vision control right here. Both of them actually just warded that topside river near Baron. And we'll see what these lanes end up being, of course. A little bit of poke, actually. Jinte taking some punishment from Cutie Pie's Ezreal.
It'll be interesting to see if, since they both know that the solos were top, if they actually both want that matchup. Because either team right now could call a switch as they see Cutie Pie down here doing some fancy dance moves on that Ezreal. Nobody plays the Spaceman Ezreal anymore. There's no Pulse Fire. It's all the Hipster Explorers or the Frosted Tips.
So I think it's because when you last hit with Pulse Fire Ezreal, you get the extra special animation, which means if you ever don't see the animation, it's like, noob, you missed the last hit.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone wants to subject themselves to that ridicule.
That's a little bit annoying, that extra animation. And that bug that was there for a while. Don't Mash Me takes 1 Mystic shot. Nice chunk out of his bar. So I guess that means Cutie Pie is coming into this lane with a slight lead.
All right, he is slightly, although he's on a little bit of mana, so you never know. That 30 mana he's missing could totally be a factor. He's actually just looking to shove in on that double golem camp, actually, that GG are kind of going for.
This is a bold move, my
We've seen
friend.
things get stolen before. Mash Me, he's dancing back and forth. Cutie Pie, he does get it.
Wow.
Nice.
Cutie Pie the troll solo steal on the large golem right there. That's huge for them.
That
he
is massive.
definitely comes in with an advantage now.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, he spent some mana. I don't know, man. Blue buff being taken over by Nintendo X. No smite used by him just yet. Nocturne kind of a mirrored position, taking blue buff
Look at this
himself.
brawl top level 1. Both these assassins just beating on each other up there.
Wow, a lot of damage. Both of them with these curved blades for themselves as well. Female assassins on both sides. Mash Me Bloodwater down there in the brush for themselves. And okay, so the shove fest, but it's going to be a 2-on-2. We'll see what happens. Little Lance misses.
Extended brawls up top are probably going to be in Zion's favor. Like you said, we had Kiwi Kid starting with a bunch of wards, so that means he didn't get to buy as many pots. Plus, he had to split his money between mana pots and health pots, whereas Akali, a manaless champion, doesn't have to do that.
And so we'll see if that sustained advantage really, pans out in their favor. We're seeing actually Crumbs look for an early gank right here. He's actually coming in from behind, going into the brush. He's going to try to get a really sneaky gank here onto Zion Spartan.
Yeah, and all of those wards that GGU put out, really, this is the one place that they wouldn't see him. He actually decides not to go for that gank because the lane is shoved. But look at the line of wards that they used for just to catch out the early first gank from Crumbs.
And of course, because of that, we're seeing neither jungler really get much of an edge on the map. Nintendo had actually spent some time running around. He's going to go back down to his double himself. But, one of them stolen a little bit earlier by QtPie. His 2-on-2 matchup. Mashme without any real sustain, taking a bit of punishment there. Patoy and QtPie really working his health bar down, and he is out of potions. So this is actually looking very good for them, I feel, for I should say, Dignitas.
Yeah, I actually like it for GGU. They've got both the top and bottom lanes brawling, and since Jin-Tae took teleport, when the action does explode, they could have that extra presence from the mid laner as well as the jungles coming in.
Okay.
So GGU, for the very first gank, they may have a little advantage unless that's middle. Like I said, when I'm the jungler, I see somebody with teleport, I go attack that person, because if you attack a different lane, they could come in and just ruin your fun.
All right, we'll see if the fun does get ruined. We talked about party hats earlier, and some guys had fun and some didn't. See what ends up happening here. The wave clear, of course, from Mashme working pretty successfully. Jin-Tae against Scar, 24-26. That's pretty equal. The top lane, 22-20. Also quite the same, and it's 26-29 up in the AD carries. Pretty much everyone is matching up very, very equally. So whatever we thought about the matchups, not a whole lot is really differentiating these teams. Nintendo is going to look for a gank on his own. Can he find something against Kiwi Kid?
Yeah, he's coming in through the lane here, but Kiwi still has flash, so worst comes to worst, Kiwi Kid's probably going to have to blow his flash if he does get caught up. He has no lane wards, even though he still has one in his inventory. He could pop that one down in a side bush if he really wanted to. Doesn't look like it. He's just going to farm at the turret.
Yep, and he's lost complete vision over that brush. The Nintendo snuck in without anyone seeing him whatsoever. Now Kiwi Kid can crescent strike that, but he's not going to. Here comes the Q. Doesn't quite miss, or doesn't quite hit, but he does still burn Kiwi Kid's flash. Successful gank.
Yeah, I think that's probably the best case scenario there for GGU. They got a free summoner spell. Now they can pressure this turret. They could even dive this one if they really felt like it.
They're looking for it, but Zion Spartan's in a bit of a risky spot. There's no pink wards though, so you see they don't actually chase him because he has that smoke cloud. I take that back. Pink ward was there for Nocturne, so I take that back. They could have looked for it if they wanted to, but instead it's a disengaged Zion Spartan. He's going to get jumped in there. There we go. The flash away. The Q coming in from Nintendo. Will they get the damage on a Kiwi Kid? They're both getting dropped very, very low. First blood will go to Vi. It's going to be Crumbs taking the kill back onto this one. Where is it going to be for Nintendo X? Will it be enough damage? I take that back. Actually, the Ignite from Kiwi Kid picked up the kill, so no buffs being transferred. Jin-Tae getting really pushed down. He's still alive though, but just a trade back and forth, but first blood going to Nintendo.
So that's how you deny the early global presence. Scarra putting so much pressure on Jin-Tae. It wouldn't have helped if Jin-Tae teleported up there because he's very low on health and mana right now.
All right, so what has happened now is basically both top laners are dead. Kiwi Kid got 300 gold. Zion Spartan got 200, but Nintendo really with a bit of a lead there himself. However, despite all that, Dignitas are up 600 gold just from lane farm, and that is a nice advantage for them.
Yes, that's a good advantage, but you also have to remember Scarra started with a red pot on Gragas like he did last game that he played Gragas. And last time he was in the bottom lane, so I really thought that it was to fend off some dives or some early ganks, but he actually used it in the middle lane here too.
He just really likes that for the ability to brawl. I mean, you saw him burn his ultimate. But it was the second he got it just to try to push away Jin-Tae.
Nintendo didn't get seen out by a ward, but he wasn't quite sure if it's warded. He's in a really good position right now. He could get behind QtPie.
And Mashme's in a bit of a scary spot himself. Even more poke going off onto him, and here comes Nintendo. What's he going to find? A great hex on a QtPie. Look at the damage output onto him. But will they have enough to back it up? Looks like QtPie, this is, oh no, the push onto Mashme. He's going to go down, and they're going to jump onto Bloodwater and Nintendo, exhaust onto Crumbs. He's going to back his way out safely, it seems. Nintendo's got to be careful. There's so much damage, but Toy picks up the kill. But he's trying to bait for Jin-Tae. Will it be enough? QtPie doesn't get very far away. What's it going to be, Jin-Tae? He's going to burn the flash away, not find anything else for himself. Scar ready to disengage as well. And just a 2-for-0 picked up there by Dignitas.
Yeah, Nintendo kind of baited there by the teleport, and they weren't even able to clean up anything. Fed another kill, and like I said, Crumbs, a huge fan of using that ultimate on cooldown. He just got level 6. Immediately, darkness ran throughout the map, and they're rewarded with another couple kills.
Really, really nice mechanics there by Dignitas. Just destroying the overextension. Kiwi Kid in a battle against Zion. Spartan, drop low. Zion, ooh, that turret damage is not going to be what he wants there. He is close to being able to dive Kiwi. I'm going to check these stacks on his ult. He has 1 dash available. It's going to be Kiwi Kid jumping in. Will it be enough damage from Zion Spartan? No, the shield is too big from Kiwi Kid. He's going to find a kill for nothing. Great play by him. That turret damage. Turret damage is what got him dropped.
That turret damage, yes, he does win the melee battle right there. The assassin just going at it over and over. Kiwi Kid, well calculated, and he is just looking so good today. Not only did he come off that win against Voyboy, but now he's just beat Zion Spartan, another one of the top-ranked solo queue top laners.
And Zion Spartan going to get his way towards a Bilgewater Cutlass himself, while we saw double Doran's Ring on Kiwi Kid. The rush Wriggles Lantern there from Crumbs before really anything. Just as Boots and Cloth himself, while we see actually a different build for Nintendo going for that Spirit Stone.
And he actually went with the Ninja Tabby upgraded there really quickly for Kiwi Kid because they are exchanging so many auto attacks. Even though Kali does a lot of magic damage, he's gone with those Ninja Tabbies just so he can keep brawling.
All right, and of course, there's a little bit of physical damage on that team as well, so at least it'll scale into the late game. Once again, I want to look at the lane matchups because the minion kills are very, very close, except for jungle and bottom lane, where there's about a 10-kill lead on both of those.
He also picked up a pink ward right there, so you can tell Kiwi Kid got his taste of blood, and he wants more here as he goes in again onto Zion.
Now Zion's going to answer back while that Q is on cooldown. Bit of damage there, but oof, look at the pressure, just still jumping him down. The shield comes in from Kiwi Kid, keeping himself from too much counterattack, and Zion is starting to fall behind in this lane, just heads up one-on-one.
Yep. Meanwhile, mid, Jinte going pretty much even, and they do the dive.
They dive on the top lane. Kiwi Kid's going to fall, but they're going to trade that one back. A killing spree going there. Crumbs shutting down the kill, though, onto Graves right there. So another 2-for-1 overall. Scar's going to find Jinte. Ignite is there as well. The ult is going to get flashed away. Jinte will survive the encounter, but it burns his flash.
Yeah, so that's a huge tool down for them. Scar used his Ignite as well, though. So the difference between the teleport and the non-teleport champion at least is removed.
Okay,
The bottom turret goes down. This will be a free dragon.
Wow, just absolutely great control there by Dignitas. And you can see them moving in on this. Even without ward coverage, they just know. Wards or not, no one is around to stop them whatsoever. Nintendo went to the top lane to try to recover some of that farm while Zion Spartan was dead. They just knew they killed Don't Mash Me. They know where everyone else is. Completely free dragon.
Earlier in this season, we were talking about how nobody upgraded their Madreds early into a Wriggles Lantern.
Yep.
And now we're seeing everybody upgrade their Madreds into a Wriggles Lantern. And we went over before about that gold per 5 aspect of it, where you get free wards and you get all the sustain. Looks like Crumbs is going to go that route too. His ultimate is up. You know what that means.
Time to dive some people.
Time for Darkness. He has to go buy first, though. Gotta spend that cash.
That's fine, that's fine. I mean, he could just buy more items so he can dunk harder. Like, it's okay.
There you go. Ezreal bought a bunch of knives and swords. He's got sharp objects as well as a red pot to complement Scars, who he just used. And Scars is actually run out now. Or, no, it's I got 50% left. He's so big,
right.
It's hard to see the glow.
Oh, Zion Spartan going to get found by Kiwi Kid. Oh, a beautiful escape right there. Ults to Orianna, flashes away. He's going to survive that one. Does lose flash, but still a great escape.
Yep, and I'm a cutie pie, so bold right now. He can just 1 versus 2 in this bottom lane. The slippery Ezreal doesn't really have to be afraid. He's got a nice pink ward in the tri-bush, so he's not afraid of getting ganked. They just saw 3 members top, so he's able to take care of basically 2 members of GGU while farming.
Well, that is pretty impressive by him, and you still see a 6 minion kill lead on that side, 10 minion kill lead in the mid lane. And 6 in the top lane. So
he's zoning them out solo.
Yeah. Well, there we go. The pressure on him, Mash Me. They're going to go for the pressure. Oh, a beautiful smoke cloud actually slows him down a little bit. And they get the glitter lance on him. Cutie Pie does not have his E up anymore. The flash not really going to be required, actually. Cutie Pie burns his red elixir as part of that escape, but he does live pretty successfully. Ults the minions down. Mash Me still trying to wave clear. Ult coming in from Nocturne. Where's it going to be? It's the mid lane. Jinte not in a good place. Gets feared up against the wall. Look at the burst damage. The dunk does nothing because Crumbs spell shielded it. Nintendo not going to find much damage for himself either. Zion Spartan not in a good place. Kiwi Kid, one more attack. Can he find it? Yes, he can. Another kill picked up. 8-2 Dignitas.
Kiwi Kid is running rampant up in that top lane right now. He owns that area, and Crumbs shielding the assault and battery as a Vi player. That is just the worst feeling you can have.
You just saw him like dance around in the air and punch nothing because there was
She's
no crumbs
turned
to be
her
had.
into a little ballerina. She's supposed to be this rocker chick. Now she's doing pirouettes in the mid lane there and getting no kills.
Well, you know, a while ago they said pink is the new black. I think ballet is the new punk.
There you go.
Just a thought. I could be wrong. I'm not up to speed on the whole scene, but, you know, if Vi does it, I believe.
Interesting choice, too. He's gone with the Brutalizer before upgrading into the Lizard Elder, the Spirit of the Lizard Elder. It's a bit more expensive, but it adds so much. I really like rushing that. Now he's really banking on the extra AD and armor penetration to make his ganks more potent. With his Assault and Battery now being down, it's going to take a while for that to actually take effect.
Well, for his sake, we're going to hope that it does work out. QT Pie actually starting to roam around the map since he's shoved out the bottom lane. Jinte, could be another...
Oh my god, QT Pie is just counter-jungling like a beast. He just stole
he got
blue Wraith right there with another Mystic shot. He's on fire, I have to say.
Dude, I mean, just imagine if he was fighting against Lauda Mortis. That guy would just hate life.
That's mean, man. He's not in this game. We don't have to keep picking on him.
Sorry. Oh, I mean, it's Nintendo taking a bunch of damage from Kiwi Kid. Has to Q away from that one. Again, ward coverage is still there. Nice ward by Nintendo. Going to spot that one out as well. QT Pie going to find himself a turret kill, but Toy getting the credit onto that one. And they are just strangling the map. All 3 outer turrets have fallen before 14 minutes, and they have 4 times the kills of their opponents.
It's interesting that Kiwi Kid rushed his home guard boots because they don't have a single turret of their own down for Dignitas here. He doesn't really have to defend. Item QT Pie does get ultimate. What an amazing arcane shift.
Wow, so he starts the animation right before the suppression.
Yep.
And you always finish animations while you're taking damage. So he's getting suppressed while still casting arcane shift and ends the other side of the wall.
Actually, I think that Jao was telling me before they changed Vi's ultimate at the last second. It's now a knockup followed by a mini stun, no longer suppressed.
Okay. Either way, gets away from that one regardless. Zion's part now getting dove under the turret, but here's the counter engage. They've got 3 here. Kiwi Kid getting chunked out so hard, he's going to fall over completely. That was a little bit of reckless aggression, I think, from
Yeah,
Dignitas.
diving onto an Akali who's got her shroud up. Zion was just fine, and he's happy to get that shockwave from Jinte to suck everyone in. Nice kill there. Kiwi Kid finally, his rampage, his reign of terror has come to an end.
However, the lizard buff on the bottom side was stolen away by Dignitas, so QT Pie is going to enjoy that little bit of a theft for himself. And again, you're just seeing the map really controlled here by Dignitas. 15 minutes in, Good Game University looking for their first win of the day. Dignitas keeping their pretty much almost impeccable win streak alive. Well, they are ahead here, and it's looking pretty good for Dignitas.
We can see also the difference in the mid lane. It's kind of a debate between mid laners right now. When you want cooldown reduction, you either go with the Athene's Unholy Grail or the Morellonomicon. Scar's opted for that Morellonomicon. Plus, he's ahead right now, so he's also got penetration and a ring. But for Orianna, the extra mana regen that comes from the Athene's Unholy Grail probably makes that a good choice for him. He wants to be able to continuously spam out those balls and clear waves, as we do see Zion Spartan being aggressive upon again.
Oh, and of course, here comes Crumbs as well. He pops the W, but the pink ward is there.
Always ready.
Really good diligence there by Crumbs, always getting a pink ward before that happens, and even put it down in the brush to make sure he wasn't getting brush juked. And you can see Dignitas still in control. The bottom of the Nintendo is going in. He's going to find QT Pie. He dodges the Sona ult as well. The barrier is not nearly enough. Don't Mash. He picks up that kill, and they are 3 strong in the bottom half of the map. This could even be a turret.
Little early there on the arcane shift. He couldn't time it this time. There's no wall to jump over to try and leave Nintendo behind. And Vi finally gets a kill.
Here comes Vi,
With
2-1-1. Picking it up, Zion Spartan running back to the top lane. There we go, the first turret of the game going for Good Game University. However, it's going to be turret number 4 falling here. Great push top lane by Kiwi Kid.
We do have a Bloodthirster finished for QT Pie there, though, so at least he has a good amount of sustain, and he can stack that up while he's farming in lane. He can build up, as I say, he's finished his Graves as well. Now Don't Match Me, he's got one of his own, so they're going to both have pretty good sustain and be able to stay in these team fights, which is good because both teams have amazing dive comps.
Yes, and the AD carries are going to be the ones with the persistent damage.
Oh, Jinte.
Here. Oh my gosh, the damage up, but look at that. The ults from Scar over and over again landing. A beautiful ult stops Kiwi Kid, but it's not going to be enough. Scar's going to find that with Flash Ignite and his ability combo. 10-4.
Scar has just been bodying him all game over here with that Gragas. He cannot be stopped. Saint
Bodying
big. Yeah.
with body slam. I love you.
You could just leave those sometimes.
I'm
People
sorry.
will figure
I'm
'em
sorry.
out.
I'm sorry. It's late. I didn't sleep enough last night.
It's been quite a long day. Because they got that kill middle, it means the Dragon will be uncontested. There's not even vision in there for any kind of sneaky steal business, trying to shoot any sort of skill shots over the wall. And that's going to increase Dignitas's gold lead that much more. They're looking like they're going to run away with this game.
It is 8,000 right now. That is a very significant margin here, of course. Let's see what these guys are going for. Good Game University regrouping in their jungle. They've got pink wards, so they know they need to deny vision from Dignitas, and they're doing that right here. Don't mash me. Only a few hundred gold behind I'm a Cutie Pie. You can see, actually no, that just skyrocketed ahead. It used to be 500 apart. Now it's more like 800, but still, they've both got one major item completed. Mash me shoving out that bottom lane for himself. Jinte still trying to clear out the mid lanes. The minion kills at least are still coming through for Good Game University, and that's what they're going to need to keep themselves in.
I think it's interesting that Dignitas is the first team to complete one of those defensive aura items, the locket. Usually teams will either get the locket or the Aegis of the Legion, but they're the team that groups up the least. Dignitas won't even group up for the end of the game. They'll finish the game still in all of their lanes, and it looks like this game's probably going to be going with that same strategy. Patoy said before that they started doing this because they weren't sure how to finish the games in the end, and it's worked out so well for them they haven't had to switch off of this.
And it's just, yeah, exactly. You said it's working very, very well. Dignitas in a pretty happy place. I do want to point out that Kiwi Kid is actually running that same build that Skara did, the early Nashor's Tooth. And attack speed Diana seems to be the build of the day for these guys right now. Cutie Pie grabbing his own golem buff happily. Kiwi Kid shoving out that top lane. Really everyone at Dignitas is basically hotshot GG. They are all split pushing over and over and over again.
Yep, they're just, it's their MO nowadays. They win the lanes hard and keep on shoving all the way till the inhibitor turrets, then just basically 1 versus 1 in 3 different areas.
And every single 1v1, I mean, except for those crazy tower dives we saw once in a while. There we go, Zion Spartan going in onto Kiwi Kid, pops the W, is getting pulled in. Where's the burst going to come from? Is it going to be enough? He's trying to get the damage output. Actually, R's away while Bloodwater comes in. That seemed like a miscommunication, and Kiwi Kid gets himself out.
Interesting choice there by Zion. He's been losing those 1 versus 1s all game, and he decides to go in for it. Now he's going to have to blow the cooldown of Bloodwater, and it's going to be a barren start for Dignitas. Will GGU get all the way in to contest? They don't have Lulu's ultimate.
Well, they don't, but they do at least have a half health Kiwi Kid. Then they're going to dive right back in. Zion Spartan taking some punishment. Pink ward is down there. Crumbs down below half health. In back comes Zion Spartan. Flash over the wall is going to keep him alive. Gragas from across the wall finds the kill onto Lulu. Are they going to get one back? A beautiful Orianna. Will they find Kiwi Kid? He is dangerously low. There's going to be a double kill here for Graves. 3 kills picked up. Zion's going to suddenly face check Cutie Pie, and that one's picked up. Jinte now has to be afraid, but it's still a 3 for 2 in this fight.
Such a satisfying feeling as Ezreal ulting in the face from a bush. Domashi is having none of it, though. He's going to chase him down.
All right, he's got Lizard buff. He's going to get into range in time. Of course, that Zeal from Cutie Pie giving him a bit of a lead. The Q coming out from Cutie actually jukes everything. And Scar's coming in from the side. This is a dangerous place to be in. Mashme, can you get the damage? Jinte is here. The shield is enough. The Ignite is on. No, Cutie Pie's going to shut him down. Lizard buff is not going to be enough either, I don't think. And Jinte gets crushed there by Skara. 2 for nothing in that fight.
Cutie Pie with the baits over here. They both actually had the barrier in their back pocket, but Cutie Pie just baited them right into that Gragas, and again, Scar comes out. Not even close, babe. Cutie Pie was not going to go down right there.
Oh, beautiful job right there. Excellent, excellent play. Bloodwater now back up in his top lane. He's the one who absorbed the farm because most of the rest of his team is dead.
I was thinking that Cutie Pie was actually running to his doom because he's going towards the enemy's base, but
yeah,
no, perfectly. He lines him up for those Mystic shots. Calculated damage all the way. Now they're going to recall. As soon as they spend the rest of this gold, that should be a final push for one of these major objectives. We can see that Patoy has an Oracles and he's clearing out the Baron, so that could be the next target because they have plenty of ward coverage.
They do, in fact, but it's actually Crumbs on the other side of the map. It's usually rare for a
to
team.
go for a Baron with that jungler, yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
like that would be the reddest stake ever. That's how rare it is. So Kiwi Kid, you know, he's going to clear out the top hand side, and there we go. They send Crumbs back up towards the top half of the map. I'm terrible.
Oh, it's good. I like it. We keep them coming. We're just fast and furious this
so
game.
Good. Cars everywhere.
He's back up to the middle, so we're close with the jungler now. They actually could collapse. Another ward has been placed. They've got 2 in these bushes, though, so it's going to be another round of clearing for Patoy before they actually are going to have a clear run at Baron. They know that they're in there.
Yeah, they started it up for sure. It's just Crumbs and Cutie Pie right now. The two-man Baron. Kiwi Kid has finished shoving out the top lane. Skara baiting out time in mid. Actually, they just disengaged. They don't want to risk this one. They are standing atop of a ward, so yeah, GGU knows they've disengaged here.
Yeah, Patoy finding out that they've replaced these wards for him so he can get another couple 25 gold marks right here. He doesn't go actually get the second. There he goes. Grab that sucker. He's Sona, so he's a little squishy. You always got to play a little more safe when you are one of those ranged supports with a little bit less life, and you don't want to lose that Oracles.
Not really. He just spent 400 gold on that shiny pink potion there, so he's going to wait around that one. Dignitas still grouped up towards the mid lane. They've sent Kiwi Kid back with that home guard. He's actually recalled and is going back towards that top lane, so the perennial split push still happening there for Kiwi Kid. You can see actually Scar on the bottom of your screen smiling, as Dignitas always does.
We said in the beginning it was going to be this like battle of who can murder the most minions. Looks like Scar is the king of it because 248. He's well far and away the highest CS in the game.
And as you can see, that's given him basically 10,000 gold even at this point. He is a, there we go, 10,065. He is a rich man right here. All the bling. He could buy 3 Lich Banes and sell them and then still have 6,000 gold.
It's fitting that he is the Esquire Gragas and he has some fine taste. He'll be able to
He's got a
treat
ring.
himself.
He's got a ring. He's got many books. He's got a fancy hat. The man is well equipped.
Everybody loves fancy hats. Patoy, finally, there we go. He grabs another award for himself. And Kiwi Kid is going to fend off the rest. They're going to engage off it.
They find Nintendo. Look at the damage I put on him. A little bit of punishment from Orianna. The Shockwave comes out, and that's a Nintendo flash, actually. Lulu burning her ult as well. Jinte getting punished. Bloodwater taking damage. Nintendo as well. And that is a kill picked up for Kiwi Kid. Shields are not enough to keep anyone alive there. Nintendo has fallen. They can toss 5-on-4 and an easy blue steal in front of them.
Scar just dominating this matchup. You can tell at Jinte, the times that he gets away with his life, it's barely with his life. And Gragas, we still see Scar is at full. So they're going to be able to just basically take the Baron for free. Nobody's going to be in there to contest. It's finally clean of wards. And this nice shiny purple buff will enable the final push.
And Don't Mash Me trying to shove out the mid lane, but not getting a lot for that. Is Baron completely theirs? Again, as you said, uncontested. Red team has picked up Baron Nashor. That is Dignitas. Now 11,000 gold up. Looking again to continue that win streak. 15-7. They are looking great.
Couple wards still even. They've got pink wards left over here. They're going to use those for when they catch out Zion Spartan. They're ready. They don't want anyone to get away. So it's either going to be Nocturne or Sona. They both have them in the inventory. Probably Crumbs will be up next to him. He's the one diving in there. And it looks like a tower. Oh no, they won't do tower dives because Dignitas are the split pushers. They'll just shove all 3 lanes.
They will dive the turrets by like
Single man dives.
Yes,
they've done it.
The 1v0 dives where they just hit the turret a bunch until it falls over.
There you go. Dragon at least going to go for GGU, so that's a small token for them. A 10k gold lead. It puts a little dent in it.
It does. It puts them like a little bit closer, but Dignitas looking to start just leisurely swimming laps around the map. Of course, they're in the river themselves. Notice, oh hey, you took the dragon away. That's no fun.
Cheers. And that actually gave the last whisper to Graves. So Don't Mash Me is at least going to be able to do some damage to this front line here.
He's going to start up on a Phantom Dancer himself. That's what that dagger is for. Problem is he's still 400 gold behind Cutie, but actually credit to Mash Me. Only 400 gold behind the team that's taken so many turrets and Baron. That is an impressive gold margin to keep close. However, the rest of those lanes not nearly as optimal here. Early damage coming in from Dignitas. Look at that. Kiwi Kid is walking forward and saying, attack me, I dare you. Cutie Pie taking a bit of punishment, but again, he's got lifesteal. He doesn't care much. Nintendo taking some punishment as well. Dignitas still pushing in this turret. It's going to be theirs without much contestation at all. Ult from Skara, knocking everyone back. Mash Me really forced away there. Inhibitor is theirs.
You can see all of that damage is purely from Skara's ultimate. It's dangerous for GGU to even stand next to their own turret. They can't defend their inhibitor turret or their inhibitor, then they're just going to keep on losing this base. They have to fight at some point. This Baron buff is not going to go away soon. It's still got 50% left on it, and Dignitas are looking for the top.
Well, it's going to be most likely theirs as well. It seems like from the way that GGU is playing, they just simply aren't going to challenge even on their own turrets until Baron buff times out. They've got to wait another basically minute and a half until that occurs. And I don't know if it's going to be too late for them, or maybe they just have to stand up for it now.
It is going to be too late. I mean, it's a good job by Dignitas. They actually grouped up this game because they have that advantage of the super fed Skara. He can just throw his ultimate and decimate the team. If they're able to bounce out one person, then they'll immediately jump on that. Kiwi Kid is doing a great job of following up on the priority targets.
All right, let's see what these guys can do about this, though. That barrel, you're seeing everyone just having to stand away from it. And, of course, Scar, pretty much at max cooldown reduction, is just tossing these barrels out over and over and over again. Bloodwater forced to wait around in the back. There we go, a little bit of poke coming back in. Crumbs up in the front. Barrel comes out, bit of damage there. Crumbs again taking more damage, but no one is stopping them. Another turret is going to be theirs, and now they're onto the inhibitor. And just, again, you're seeing GGU sit in the back saying, no, we don't want any part of this. Feel free to take our base apart.
Yeah, the Baron buff, they're just too scared. I guess they could try and fight on the double turrets, but Dignitas aren't going to do that. They're just going to go around, clean up all this free gold, grab the bottom one that their minions are working on right now, and then shove in on the very last inhibitor.
Alrighty, well, this turret is going to be one of the last ones left. 7 turrets are dead for GGU. It's about to be the number 8 here. They've got more turret kills than GGU has champion kills. That's not always a good place to be in. Dignitas ready to go for the 3rd inhibitor. This bottom lane, it's looking strong. They've got the damage output, a little bit of poke on a Mashmi, and there we go. The turret's going to fall. It's now on to that 3rd and final inhibitor.
So you seeded every single inhibitor for not wanting to fight Baron buff?
Yeah.
I don't think that's worth it. Just to try and fight on the double turrets, they have no base left.
They don't. At least the Baron buff's about to time out. There it is. It's gone. Will this be the opening for Good Game University? Dignitas have not bought with the gold they got from the turret, so maybe it's a small window for these guys. Zion Spartan up near the front. Patoy, the rest of the team just still there. Dignitas looking for the closing grasp right here. They're going in on the turrets. It's got to be now or never for Good Game University.
Power Ranger cams means that this is going to be Nexus turrets going down. They still don't want to fight. Nobody wants to ruin their KDA, I guess.
Yeah, the turrets are gone. They haven't even still gone in. Jinte forced back. There's the push in. Cutie Pie gets to the other turret, and that's 1 kill picked up for Gragas. They're on the Nexus right here, and there is no even chance for GGU to stop this. Crumbs flashing for no apparent reason, and that is the thing being blown up. Smiles on Dignitas' faces, remaining on that winning streak.
Interesting. I wonder if this will become a thing where they don't feel like they can win a team fight, so they don't want to ruin their stats. Or
But they could surrender.
Exactly. Like, they just watched their entire base be demolished. They actually did not try and fight even on double turrets right there. I don't quite understand that play.
It felt like a situation where they said, okay, we know we can't win straight up. If someone overextends, we'll go on it. Does he overextend? Does he overextend? Does he overextend?
Yeah.
And they just never found it. And then when the turrets were gone, it was too late. But they kept looking for that chance where someone was there because they were in position.
So they didn't want to surrender on the small chance that Dignitas would throw them the game.
Yeah.
Give up that crazy mistake. And Dignitas just never did. Okay.
If they became major league pitchers, there's always a chance that the game is thrown and catch that ball, catch the game, try to put themselves back in the game. Unfortunately, did not happen. But we do have ourselves a replay. If you want to take us through that, one of those game-winning fights.
So I believe this will be the Baron. Yeah, so they do get the initiate on there. Kiwi Kid slowing down Nintendo. He isn't able to get away as Zion goes in. Crumbs baiting that out. He knew he had flash and he could get over that wall. And right there, you see the damage from Scar, able to just burst him down. Don't Mashman getting his 2 kills right there. Finish off Nocturne as well. And here we see the face check there right into the Ezreal from Cutie Pie. And Scar is still up, so they can't really chase. But Don't Mash Me goes for this Cutie Pie right here. And this is the long troll from Cutie Pie. This is what we call, he's waiting for Scar to come save him right now. He could go back to his base right now. You see, he could Arcane Flash towards his base, but he decides to bait Don't Mash Me because he's aware Scar's coming in for the kill, and they just both pop their barriers at the same time. Don't Mash Me not able to get off that last hit, and the Mystic Shot able to reward Cutie Pie with a double buff. Scar picking up Jinte once again like he did all game long.
Yeah, just absolutely amazing mechanical play from those guys. The call, hey, I'm below you, come join me, come join my Gragas, we'll get you guys, let's do it. Anyway, guys, when we come back, we're going to talk to Skara from Team Dignitas, and then we wrap up Super Wednesday with a match between Marn and Team Solo Mid. Don't go anywhere.